Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, totally an unexpected live stream. Totally unexpected. All right. So, I look crazy. I know. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to be right now. It's a Blu-ray update, a Blu-ray energy update. And I asked what this reading was going to be about. And this is what I heard. A new solar consciousness is here. So let's just take a moment. Let me take my glasses off. I don't need my glasses on right now. All right. All seriousness. There's definitely some new things that are happening within the energetic spaces. Okay. There are things that maybe, maybe we're ready to hear it. Maybe we're not. Who knows? I'm just going to go ahead and prepare the cards, let you marinate a little bit in that question. Let you marinate a little bit on that. Part of me wants to involve the galactics, and part of me doesn't. You know what I'm saying? All right. This has to do with a reptilian agenda. The reptilians are entering into a space of primal fear. They should be afraid. I'm going to be speaking extra ballsy today. And if you have an issue with testicular type energy, if you have an issue with testicular type energies, this might not be the right live stream for you. I'm just saying, like, it's going to be very testicular. I'm serious. I'm going to be speaking very ballsy. And if, testicles bother you, this is your chance to hop off. It's your chance to hop off the testicle train. I'm just saying. I'm being very matter of fact here. Not trying to be funny. But it is a little bit funny, right? Okay. So there's this video on TikTok that I have been trying for days to stitch and duet and all kind of stuff. But for some reason, y'all, this is gonna be hype. It's gonna be extra hype. I saw that card when okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead. Let's continue. My mind is going like a million miles a minute. It's going a million miles a minute because there's a lot of information. It's a lot of information. Okay. So there is this video that I've been trying to stitch and duet on TikTok for quite a few days at this point. And every single time I try, TikTok won't post it. It won't post it at all, right? It doesn't give me any error message or anything like that. It just won't post the video. And it's about two sons. Oh, shoot. Y'all know about this? I don't know if I've talked about this before, but this is definitely something that I have. I know I've talked about it. I just don't know where. I just don't know where. I don't know if I talked about it here or in a private setting or what, but it has to do with two sons. There's so much about our existence that we don't know about because they don't tell us. They, as in, we're going to go, okay, y'all got some water. I'm about to red pill you. You have some water. You're going to need some water to swallow this pill. I'm just saying. Metaphoric, of course. Metaphoric pill. I'm not giving you actual medications. I'm not licensed for that. But there are things that we don't know that we're basically needing to know at this point. Okay? So, Blu-ray update, a new solar consciousness is here. Right? It's a new solar consciousness. So, let's just go ahead and organize these cards real quick. Really quick. Okay. I just got to breathe this out. I don't know how in trouble I'm going to get after this. I don't know that I care either. You know what I'm saying? I told you it's going to be testicular today. So, okay, here. Okay. This is going to be very. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here goes. Here goes. Cycles, they get to a point of an apex, the highest point that you could possibly get within a cycle, and then they will cycle back down, right? Because cycles are circular in nature. Some cycles are elliptical, meaning they go further away at one point than they do at the other 2 points. So it goes further that way than it does this way. That's elliptical. There is a cycle that is now, it's reached its apex and it's returning back. What is this cycle? It's a cycle that's causing the high priestess of earth to awaken. This high priestess of earth exists within each human being. It exists within our primal fields of energy. I don't know if you know what that means. We're going to leave that there. We're not going to dive into like any Kelantic science stuff because this is not class. Not that type of class, at least. So the primal energetic fields are being stimulated, right? This high priestess of earth is being awoken from her slumber. And what that's doing is whatever that metaphoric they thought was concluded, it's not, bitches. It's not. It's not. It's not. You're not going to get your way. You're not going to get your way because you know what's happening? Whatever it is you thought you were summoning, things have just got real motherfucking complicated. Because guess what? I'm not the only one on the earth that's like me. Yeah. And what you've done through the summoning of what you're trying to summon in order to push through a conclusion that you wrote, it's awakening the high priestess of earth. And what that's doing is causing the cycle to reach its apex point, which already has, and it's circling back around. What's circling back around? The second sun. So, because of my current elevation in testicular energies, I just love that word, testicular. It's fabulous. Because of that, I will share information that I typically don't share on this channel, and I typically don't share on social media. They don't want you knowing this kind of stuff. So it is my working hypothesis. My hypothesis. I am hypothesizing that the sun is actually a holding tank, an energetic repository for the excess consciousness of each individuated consciousness, individuated identity. What I'm saying is the human body is not capable of holding the totality of your soul. Okay. It can't handle the entirety of your divine essence. So, what happens is a piece of you, a little tiny grain of you, is allowed to fractionate off of the entirety of your soul and is then implanted in the physical form, the human body. Only a tiny, tiny, finite grain of your totality is allowed to occupy in the human body. Anything more than that would disrupt the entire function of that body. It's like trying to use rocket fuel for a hybrid Prius. That fuck shit up. Oh my God. I just got a visual. I mean, you can't do that. That fuel burns so hot. You'll melt the whole engine. You'll just liquefy the pistons and rods. That will be ugly. Your car will be broken. It will be broken, so beyond broken. And that's why a large portion of your soul is held somewhere else. Before you incarnate into this life, you sign a solar contract. That solar contract is for the collective whole of all the creatures that exist within that planetary system. Are y'all following me here? Are y'all grasping what I'm trying to say? I don't know how else to say it. The second sun is visible. If our current solar celestial body, our current sun, is a holding tank for the current consciousness, what do you think is in the second sun? The consciousness of the new children. So when I say they done fucked up the cycle, if they just left it alone, if they didn't lock everyone down and then everyone kind of behaved like these little bunny rabbits in in confinement, we would have never had all of these children being born. The COVID babies, that's their son. All these COVID babies. Corona, son. They are solar babies. Yeah. So what's happening is they're letting go of the confinement that they once operated within. These souls have not incarnated on this earth plane for a very, very, very long time. Think the times of Lemuria, the times of Atlantis, the times before ancient Egypt, before Kemet, before Iya's den. Think of those times. Some good shit's about to happen, I'm saying. They're going to fight it though. That metaphoric they is going to fight it. We don't care. we don't care. Because the ones that came before the children who are like me, we don't care. We're ready to get to work. We're ready to do what we need to do. So there are multiple waves of consciousness that have arrived in order to terraform the consciousness of the human perception, right? We have the indigos, we have the crystal children, the rainbow children, the diamond ray children, the double diamond sun children. You get what I'm saying here? Double diamond sun. Ooh, I got chills. They're multiplying and I'm losing control. I just love it. I love it. I don't love the way it might play out. That I don't love. That is still up for debate. But I love that whatever is being planned is now being dismantled actively. Actively. So they've hidden this information for far too long. I don't even know if Keylontic Science, Cathara, or energetic synthesis talks about any of this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kept very separate from all of those things. All of my information comes from specific channels. I don't channel energy. I don't channel beings. I'm talking about pathways, channels that give me access to portions of the collective as well as elevations in another level of Akashic records. So it's just, the double diamond sun is here. Double diamond sun. This is the emerald wave of consciousness. You know what this means? You know what this means? This means my family is here. Mm. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. It's a big deal because the members of my family are incorruptible. We don't give a shit about money. We don't give a shit about pain. We have regular focus. Once we hyperfixate, you cannot stop us. So that's a very big deal. It seems that the final few notes of a new song of creation has been written on the papers. Whatever these papers are, we're going to begin feeling the new music that creation has created for this earth plane. Creator is like a very patient parent, a parent who will allow their child to act up to a certain degree just to give them the opportunity to really exercise some autonomy, some sovereignty, and to really feel what it's like to be a creator, right? But after a certain point, I mean, it's like this thing of the parent needs to really just take control back away from the children because the children don't know what to do with that type of power. The children have long since taken advantage and irresponsibly used that power. There are levels of me and my family you have yet to witness. Mm, mm, mhm. I wasn't sure what Ocean Lover was talking about yesterday when she was being given the message that it's time to share something. I'm finally understanding today, right now. Some of the things that will be shared, it's not going to be shared today, but you will be witnessing things that are unexplainable, things that are near impossible to quantify, near impossible to understand, things that will cause you to question the reality as you know it to be, things that might cause you to question what exactly are my origins. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine. I think a lot of what needs to happen right now is we need to allow ourselves to prepare for an expansion within our consciousness, an expansion within our cranial spaces. If you've been having headaches for the past few days, past week or two, these pressure headaches, it might be that you've already been triggered to begin priming for that consciousness expansion. There's a lot of energy that is being displaced. There is a lot of energy being displaced, and this energy that's being displaced mm, mm. They're trying to do things. This metaphorical they are trying to do things to piggyback off of the 1212 portal. Not good things. It's our job to ensure that our energy is not used to fuel their projects. Okay. I'm not going to take this conversation too much deeper than it's already gone. I know there's a lot of information that I could be sharing, but I won't be sharing here simply because it's too heavy. It is too dense. And I want to be cognitive. I want to be considerate of the types of shoulders this information will be laid upon. Okay. Um, are you sure? This information that I'm sharing with you right now, it's part of the reason. Are you sure though? Are you sure? It's part of the reason why I'm having an additional event. I'm putting it in the comments. It's right here. I'm having a private fire ceremony on 12/10, and it's a 12/12 portal primer event. It has to do with all of the things that I'm talking about right now. I wasn't going to share this. I wasn't going to say it. I was simply going to share with those who chose to be part of this private event. Let me just put the comment, the link, because the comment's too long on YouTube. But I wasn't going to share this information. I was simply going to inform the people who chose to be part of the primer event the specifics of why this event needed to take place beyond what I've explained on that link. There's a lot of energetic shifts, and these energetic shifts are intended to distort and deform the existing morphogenetic template within your auric space. A morphogenetic template is an energetic grid with which it's used for your consciousness to be able to anchor into this life form that you are currently. If that gets distorted, if parts of that get deformed, the way your soul can communicate to you through your chakras, through your intuition, becomes severely affected. It's like you trying to call someone, you have their phone number, but one number is off. You will not connect. It won't connect the call. You need all numbers, including the area code, to be the right numbers, or the call will not connect. Do you understand what I'm saying? What they're attempting to do? The grids on Earth are ready. They have them in the light posts. They have them hidden as fake trees all around. They created a secondary grid. Do you understand what I'm telling you? They created a false grid. The start of the work that they've done, this has been in the works for quite a few generations, 2 to 3 generations at the very least, when they put into play the end game. Okay? I can't go into specifics on this channel about what the end game is, but there's already been things that have been initiated to alter your phone number, things that have been pressure inserted into your physical form. Do you understand what I'm talking about? That changes your double helix phone number. That begins the process. It changes the lower numbers, the lower strands, the 2 strands that are physical. It changes that. But guess what? Most people have the potentiality to activate 12. Some people have the potentiality to activate 24. There are those who can activate up to 36 strands. And then there are those who are like me, who are just waiting for the 48 strands to go full active. We need the second sun to do that. The second sun is here. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is a lusting for this energy and they cannot take it. There is a harvest going on right now. They're hoping they gather enough of those who can activate 24 to 36, because those who can activate up to 48 cannot be touched, cannot be taken, cannot be harvested. We are uncorruptible. They need the liquid code. Do you understand what I'm talking about? The liquid code. That's what they want. So make sure that you're listening. Each of us will be given instruction directly from our soul on how to defrag our systems. Part of what I'll be doing during the event that I was talking about. Let me see. Excuse me. This event right here. It'll be a tritonal defrag type of activation. This is very testicular. This is very ballsy, Michael. He says to say it, I have the capacity to defrag your system. The energy work that I offer on my website, the type of sessions that I have available for the general public are very basic to me. Those are very, very basic type energetic processes that I can do very, very easily. So what we need to do is make sure that we give ourselves permission to begin the process of accepting the expansion we will begin to experience. Whether you join my event or not, you will be experiencing a consciousness expansion event. We've reached the outer rim of an event horizon. We have reached the outer rim of an event horizon. Event horizons are the outer field of a black hole. Once you reach an event horizon, you cannot avoid it. You cannot change your course. You will eventually be consumed by that hole. So we've reached the outer rim of an event horizon. What I've found is when you're dealing with a black hole, if you know the coordinates, if you know how to bend it, you can bend it just enough around your perimeter and turn that one speck into a white hole. There's a lot about scientific things that scientists don't even know. When you have enough strands that go active, you become the skeleton key of creation. You can do things that scientists can't explain. I'm making no claims, nor am I denying anything. I will say, though, I'm rebellious as fuck and I can fight. I will say that. I'm rebellious as fuck and I can fight. Fight pretty hard, too. Fight like a dude. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So we had the High Priestess of Earth, right? All of this stuff was causing enough agitation to wake the High Priestess of Earth from her slumber. Then comes the High Priestess of Fire. The deconstruction has begun. Fire is a beautiful alchemical tool, right? If you know how to utilize it. It's an alchemical tool. It can change things, alchemically change things. That's a permanent change. It's not temporary. Okay. The change is going to be permanent. But first, we have to release our death grip on hope. You have to exit out of the childhood of your consciousness and enter into the young adulthood. Children hope that someone will help them. Children have faith that something outside of them will take care of the issue. Adults have a knowing. They enter into a space of ripened gnosis, where you know you need to take X, Y, and Z steps in order to be able to rectify the situation. So, there are risks involved. What these risks are? There are risks involved. And part of that risk has to do with a homecoming, a coming home of that solar flame. By summer, the world will be full of sunflowers. That makes me smile. I love that. There's a need for us to help each other cleanse ourselves. Cleanse, 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 right? Master the energy field around you. That's hard to do if you don't master the energetic field within you. Once you master the energetic field within you, you get positioned in center point. And when you're in center point, you can emit equidistantly the type of environment you want around you. It's a type of Christic projection. I don't want to get into it though. I'm telling you, Christic projection is badass. Not many people can do it. It requires tapping into the chrism. Most people's chrisms have been, it's become gelatinous rather than flowing. It's kind of densified, kind of like jello, because of all of the, has to do with fluoride. So death, there is definitely an ending of a cycle that's happening. And whatever this ending is, we have to be consciously creating, consciously choosing what we are replacing it with. Creation in nature does not like voids. Okay. It doesn't like voids to exist. When a void exists, something must always enter into that empty space and occupy it. So when you have a lot of emptiness within you, even small pockets of emptiness, those are spaces for parasitic things to occupy. That's why most people have a parasitic circumstance, have parasites living within their auric field. It's because of the pockets that are formed, these empty spaces that are formed when person after person after person successfully encourages you to reject parts of yourself. That's all by grand design. It is all by grand design. The more parasites you have existing within the pockets of emptiness that you have, more of your energy goes towards feeding them rather than the energy that you would have absorbed through your skin from the solar consciousness that you're exposed to when you're outdoors. That instead goes towards feeding parasitic latchings. So. Mm. Hmm. Mm. Respect. You see those two flames? Creation is preparing. There are those who don't have a counterpart. They will be basically consolidated into 5 points. Those points will create a circle of protection around those who do have a counterpart. Not many people have a counterpart incarnated simultaneously, concurrently with them. Not many people have found that counterpart. It's beyond a twin flame. I can tell you that much. It's beyond a twin flame. So everything is being prepared. All the darkness that was created due to the misinformation that was disseminated about twin flames, that's going to go to the wayside. They began this process by first introducing us to the concept of soulmates. The reason people gravitate towards the concept of soulmates and twin flames, so desperate to have that type of connection, is because we feel so disconnected between the self and the soul. You have to connect with yourself so you can stop craving that type of connection with someone else. Connection with another person will never satisfy you as deeply and wholeheartedly as a connection between the self and the soul. This is what I've been trying to share for quite a long time already. So there are pairs that are being invoked, right? It goes in the shadow and the light side, both, because this is a totality. There are pairs that are being invoked. These are bonded pairs. They are etherically bonded, and no human concept, no human circumstance can interfere with that depth of bond. Mm-hmm. I need you guys to hear clearly what I'm about to communicate. Okay? There's masculine energy, there is feminine energy. It has nothing to do with sexual gender. Everyone has both genders within their morphogenetic template. We all have both genders within our templates. Okay? So this would explain why, although I look very feminine, I have a very masculine energy. Depending on which one is more dominant, more forward in its placement, that is what you will begin to identify as and emit. Okay? This is what gives you some sense, some identification as masculine or feminine. Now, what they've done is try and confuse, distort, agitate the differences between the masculine and the feminine energies. Again, it has nothing to do with genders. But when you bring in a spiritual concept, something that's already by nature very difficult for the human brain to comprehend, and you begin to try and apply it to human circumstance, you're going to get very confused. You're going to become very, very lost in what the concept is actually trying to tell you. So what they've done, they've caused the fall in the patriarchy a very, very long time ago. The patriarchal consciousness was corrupted, which then bled through into the collective consciousness. The matriarchy was dethroned. It was never the matriarchy that was in control. It was a coexistence that was occurring where each had their proper place. It's not anymore. This needs to be restored. A large portion of what they need to succeed, this metaphorical they, what they need to succeed is for the feminine to be upside down so that she does not tap into her alchemist type capabilities. So there will be a containment that is initiated, but it requires the fire from the flames. There is a containment that will be initiated that requires the fire from the flames. Now, has nothing to do with romance, has nothing to do with a primal human urge to procreate, has nothing to do with any of that, has everything to do with spiritual work. Let's see. Yep. So everything right now is tying into these cards. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Yep. All right. So there is a fear of their plans surviving, that metaphoric they, right? There is this fear. Now, this fear is causing them to project into our environment specific types of situations, specific types of thought forms, circumstance, patterns, behaviors, events. And these are successfully being done without being challenged. I would say this began in 1979. It gave them a renewed hope. They are living in the now. They love it. They created this parallel type existence where they could do as they wanted and announce it to us, and then not take any karmic ownership of the miasmic distortions that were created. Miasma, which is what a miasmic distortion is, miasma is frozen light code. Frozen light code is the equivalent of you taking a distance education course. You know, you go in college, but you're not going to a classroom, you're doing it online. And so you're taking this course, you're watching the video lecture from your professor. Someone knocks on the door and you don't want to miss the information that you need because you have to take a test after, right? So you pause the video to go answer the door. That paused lesson is a miasma. That's all it is. It's a pause lesson. Miasma is karma. It's not punishment. It never was. It was never meant to be punishment. We just act like bratty ass children, like, oh, I can't, I gotta do my work. Yeah, do your fucking work and stop complaining. I'm saying, okay? You do your work, stop complaining, and be done. So that's what miasma is. So they've been living in the now. They've been living it up, living it up, living it up. They've caused so much distortion within our perception of who we are and how we naturally normally function that we've been so busy fighting each other that we can't pay attention to what the fuck they're doing. But I notice everything. Literally. I usually don't say anything, but I notice everything. I notice even the inflection in the way you speak. I notice what part of the word you hesitate on. And that tells me everything I need to know. Just saying. So a new consciousness is coming, right? Why would they go ahead and put the sun on this card? Seems like someone knows. A new consciousness is coming. That new consciousness will bring in the ultimate evolution. The Zeta Reticuli answer to the reptilians, who answer to the draconians, who answer to dun, 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 to who answers to who? Shaitan and the Dark Mother. I don't know if you'll find information on this online. Shaitan is one of his names. And no, it's not Lucifer. Stop lying on homie Lucifer. I'm sick of the stories. Okay, seriously. The feminine principle is very, very important. Very, very, very important. Look at that. She's holding a sun. She's holding the sun. She's a holder of consciousness. Creation is a stair-step design. Design, scale down and split apart, same exact design. Scale down and split apart, same exact design. Scale down and split apart, same exact design. Scale down, split apart, same exact design. And each time it's scaled down and split apart, it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, stepping down in dimensional consciousness, becoming more and more and more dense. So this, it's in reverse. It was around 1997 when they really began the push for the spiritual movement, the New Age movement. This is controlled opposition. Those who are here to help terraform the consciousness of the human collective, we are not compatible with veganism. We're not. We're not. If y'all want to talk about, and I'm not trying to bash vegans, I'm just trying to give you a good idea of how corrupted the information we are being given actually is. This entire plane of existence is an extremely brutal, barbaric, and violent plane. Your birth alone is violent. So, you want to talk about how consuming animals, and I don't agree with factory farming, get that out there first and foremost, but you want to talk about how the consumption of animal product is not spiritual. Fruit-bearing trees are living. The fruit is their unborn. You are taking from them their children. Trees can't even run away. Wrap your mind around that. Your very existence is a violent, destructive one. No matter how gentle you want to be, your existence carries with it an intrinsic violence and destruction. Come to terms with it and make your life something meaningful. Come to terms with the fact that this is the way this world functions. There are other layers and levels of creation where there is no destruction involved. You'll return back to that at some point in your journey. So long as you're here, your existence carries with it an intrinsic destructive nature. When you walk in the grass, do you know how many things you're smashing? I'm just saying. Let's get past that. Okay, it's like children arguing about which color is the best color in the coloring box. Really, I mean, who cares? Make a beautiful picture. Use the crayons to create art, to create, period. So that enlightenment, it's bullshit. We're an enlightened species. We've forgotten about our enlightened state, which is our natural state, because we're here to learn something that cannot be learned if you are still heavily connected and heavily aware to the degree that your soul is. Y'all, I swear, I've tried so hard to learn astrology and I'm smart. It's not for a lack of intelligence. I promise you, I've tried so hard. And it's like Michael takes his finger and stirs my brain a little bit because I'm not allowed to know that. I'm not allowed to know it because I would then interfere. We have to come to terms with the things that we should not participate in, the things that we should participate in. Taking it back to the whole veganism thing, I was vegan for 6 years, devoutly vegan. And for a large portion of that 6 years, I was a raw vegan. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from a space of condemnation about something I don't even know. I allowed myself to punish myself so that I could fit into the mold of spirituality and new age mumbo jumbo. That was a period of my life where I hated myself the most. Not only was I a raw vegan, all my things were organic cotton. I did yoga multiple hours a day. Yes, yes. I began my day with a mantra of I am Ashtanga. No, I'm not. I'm bendy as fuck, but I'm not Ashtanga. I'm not. I'm not. I have healer's dance slow. I dislocated a lot of shit doing yoga. It's constantly dislocating shit. I pop it back in and keep going. There is nothing spiritual about me doing that to myself. I nearly experienced organ damage because I refused to consume the food that I need. For those who have a lower frequency, just to kind of be fair, for those who have a lower frequency, veganism is perfect for you. It'll raise your frequency very, very quickly. But do you even know if you have a lower frequency or a higher frequency? Do you know how to tell? Because if you have a lower frequency, I mean, it's perfect for you. It's compatible with you. If you eat for your frequency, it's compatible with you because you're already very dense in your energy. And especially if you're a raw vegan, it will boost your frequency very, very quickly. And it'll get you to a point where you can tap into higher levels of awareness. But if you're not a lower frequency, and there's nothing wrong with being a lower frequency, if you're naturally a higher frequency, you're going to wreak havoc on yourself. You're going to really fuck yourself up. I'm not even joking. At the height of my veganism and Ashtanga yoga practice, I'm telling you, I was like, fucking humans. Someone should slapped me back then. You know what I'm saying? It causes you to raise your frequency so much, you can't even relate with the people that you came here to assist. You can't even relate. It's very douche-tastic. I'm saying. It's very douche-tastic. Yes, I say this as a reformed New Age douche. I'm saying, we have to make sure that we understand the root causations of why we do the things that we do. I'm not saying everyone that is vegan and does yoga is a douche. No, I know quite a few people that are vegan and do yoga, and they're amazing. I also know some people who do yoga and are vegan and are total fucking assholes. Total fucking assholes. You need some bone broth in your life, motherfucker. Get away from me. I'm serious. So, card number 8, Cosmic Midwifery. It's in reverse. Cosmic Midwifery, Arcturus. Arcturians, who I've been filtered through as a primary filtering, they are master healers. What does this card in reverse mean? It means that our ability to self-heal has been taken from us. We have been made to believe wholeheartedly that we are incapable of harnessing the knowledge and the appropriate tools as well as medications to heal ourselves. That's not okay. That is not okay. That is not okay. Our confidence has been severely affected. Why? Well, because when you're confident, you're much harder to control. So, card number 38, Black League patterning. Shit. Oh my God. Okay. Damn. They're bringing in Black League patterning. I'm going to need to go soon, guys. I have sessions coming up. Hold on. The secret Orion Society fighting the negative forces was called the Black League. They operated covertly and were a major force for inspiration and hope. A pop culture metaphor would be like the Jedi Knights from Star Wars. You have had experience with this group, and this latent tendency of resisting authority or fighting for peace is a deep karmic pattern. Today, it's important that this polarity of us versus them is healed. Shift your focus away from light and dark scenarios. Begin to see reality in a unified way, with all manifestations being equal and a valuable part of creation itself. The Black League is a term referring to the resistance groups that formed during the darkest times in Orion. It's in reverse. They're sucking Black League cloisters down into a fallen matrix. 3 is a number of a solid foundation. For 8, the number of reunification. 3 plus 8 is 11. 11, the number of divinity. These are the people who for the hype. These are the people who fell for the hype and think that they are somehow superior and somehow should be worshipped because they know terms. And oh my God. I can't say that. Because you know those followers are fucking crazy. That's why I can't say that. If I say that, it's going to start a lot of shit. Michael says, so quote me instead. That's not how it works. If I say that, that's going to start a lot of shit. Do you want me to build a nonprofit, or do you want me to be too busy dealing with bullshit? There are those who propagate information that many do not realize is only partial information. Those people have amassed tremendous followings. Their hashtags trend sometimes on social media. Do you want me to take all of that on? $100% at 444. Maybe tomorrow. Not today. Kathara. Stay in your space of integrity. Your integrity is not contingent on your perception of your strength. There's nothing you need to celebrate right now. The celebration will come later. Right now, what you have to focus on is shining. Forget about the concept of awakening. This was a bullshit concept to begin with. It was to cause you to identify, it was used to cause you to identify as less than. It was used to cause division, separation, competition, comparison. Get rid of that. The time for stillness is done. Gratitude. Gratitude in reverse. So, should we be grateful for parasitic things? Yes and no. Yes and no. To some degree, yes, because they do serve as the impetus for trauma-induced secretions that help to level you up a little bit higher, right? But to another extent, no, you don't have to be grateful for the trauma that you incur in order to reach higher levels of processes, right? See this right here? Let's put this on the screen. This is irritating. I'll put it on the screen because it's irritating. If being vegetarian or vegan ducks your organs up, then I must be dead. Clearly, you're not. Let's tone down the drama. No one is attacking you, and no one is forcing you to exit out of your space of vegetarianism or veganism. If you feel like you have an issue with your organs, you should see a medical professional the way I did when I was vegan. Now, everyone's metabolism and physiological needs are different. We react differently to different situations and different dietary preferences. See, the problem with your comment is that it carries with it the insinuation of the all or nothing. We can be unified and eat different things. Do you understand that? My diet is good for me. It doesn't mean it's good for you. If your diet is good for you, I'm glad for you. Is there anything you'd like to comment after that? I want to make sure it's clear. You are not being attacked or singled out because of your dietary preferences. On the flip side of things, I know quite a few vegans who do attack other people because I don't eat the same as you. So, if we can agree to be different and eat differently and respect each other, coexist together, that's a very beautiful, powerful thing. It's a very beautiful, powerful thing. It's a very beautiful, powerful thing to be very unified in our diversity. Very, very beautiful. Very, very, very beautiful. It irks me to no end when people use passive aggressive posturing to try and insinuate things. I find that very disrespectful and less than what I deserve. I want to be very clear about that. Now, when you enter into someone else's house, you should be mindful of the level of respect that you carry, especially when the person who lives in that house conducts themselves with respect and dignity. I feel like I've successfully addressed it to the degree that I would like to address it. I'm now moving forward, with or without your permission. New chapter in reverse. Something is trying to write a new chapter, but it's not going to be allowed because that new chapter is not in compliance with what the world actually needs. What the world needs is harmony based on mutual respect and consideration. It means we need to create a world where we can all exist with the right to decide for ourselves what is healthiest for ourselves. That's the kind of world that we all should really fight to create together. I don't care what you eat as long as you're healthy. I'm happy for you to decide what you want to eat. If you don't feel good, begin assessing why. Is it emotions? Is it your lifestyle? Is it dietary preferences? Or is it this thing of you being a martyr for everyone because heaven forbid you have a different life and existence and thoughts than someone else? Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. We all have the right to exist. We all have the right to choose what is best for us. A new solar consciousness is here. for those who still need to compare and compete, for those who still need to have some passive aggressive posturing. The world as you know it is changing. And I wish you the best of luck. Because if that's the way you exist, you will struggle and suffer through this process. The world will no longer revolve around you and the majority. We will all become our own internal worlds. We will no longer exist to help fluff other people's egos. It's a very beautiful way. It's beautiful because everyone's sovereignty is considered. And if you have a problem with that, because you think your logic is so much superior to everyone else, as I said, I wish you luck. I wish for grace to cover your shoulders, for your journey will be a very difficult one. Very, very difficult. Your time is done. That period of our human development is done. It is done. And to those who cannot stand the way I conduct myself, my perception, my opinions, too fucking bad. Because there are many, many more people who are just like me. They're coming out of their hiding. People like me will be the majority very soon. You see, what am I? I'm what's considered a sigma. We don't give a fuck. We don't. We don't give a fuck. If it is unjust, we will speak the fuck up. You want some? We'll serve it up hot. You want it cold? Let me freeze that bitch. At the end of the day, we have a moral compass that cannot be swayed. We cannot be corrupted. We have no desire to be better than. We have no desire to fit in. We just do our thing, help people out, go home and go to sleep. So like I said, beautiful things are coming. Very, very beautiful things. And these beautiful things will be difficult for those who are so addicted to the system we currently have because what? You finally found your place in some hierarchy that never existed to begin with. It was never real. It was a social construct and society is changing. So what are you going to do now? Kick and scream? Complain? You can do that if you want. But like a toddler who does that, I'm going to ignore it until you're done. Yeah. Why do my children not have tantrums like that? Because there's no reward in it. And no, I don't bribe my kids. When they start with tantrums, when they were really, really small and they started with tantrums, I'd be like, hey, you out of control right now? You need some help? You need a hug? You tired? You hungry? What's your body telling you? Oh, okay. You're still busy with tantrum. Okay. I'll give you a few minutes, okay? Mommy will check on you in a few minutes. Come back a few minutes later. Hey, you okay now? You done? No? Okay. Give you a few more minutes. Let me know if you need a hug to help you calm down, okay? Fuck that. I'm not going to be sitting there stoking the fires. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, sir. Or ma'am. Whatever your pronouns are. I'm good. I got to go. I have a session starting. So, these cards. Black Moon Lilith mystery. There's some shit being hidden. It's wicked ass shit. It's wicked. It's dark. It has to do with a very distorted, very toxic, fallen matriarchy. Excuse me. Think toxic feminism. Not all feminism is toxic. I want to make that clear. Okay. Think in terms of like manipulation, gaslighting, and all of that. Okay. This is just bullshit behavior. Saturn return age. So they're trying to bring back the black box of Saturn. Mercury retrograde, reinvention. See, when you take up a clump of caca, say your dog has cacad, right? You took it for a walk and it cacad, and you pick it up with your plastic bag and you're like, oh, I'm going to reinvent this caca. I'm going to bronze it. I'm going to dip it in bronze and I'm going to polish it. I'm going to place it on a beautiful stand. It's still caca. It's still caca. Whether you bronze it and polish it or you let it do what it's designed to do, which is break down and, be reabsorbed in the soil and then, all that good stuff, right? And when you bronze that with, no, it's no longer biodegradable. You're now stuck with immortalized caca. Okay? So this reinvention thing, no, stop it. We don't need to reinvent anything. What we need is to step into our proper place within our personal lives and be the sovereign that you were designed to be. To be a sovereign means to be the utmost authority in the land. You are your own sovereign. Come join me in this space where we can be equals as sovereigns, walking shoulder to shoulder. It's a pretty journey we can be on together. We don't have to compete. We don't have to compare. We can coexist and co-create. There are far more of us than there are of them. Far, far more. The reason the world has gone the way it has is because we've given our power away for so long. We learned this from our parents who learned it from theirs and learned it from theirs and learned it from theirs and learned it from theirs. Someone needs to have the courage to step up and stop. That can be all of us. Y'all are courageous. And if you don't think you are, you just haven't realized it yet. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is you choosing to be the badass that you are, even while you're afraid. So be it. Do the damn thing. Let's go. I gotta go for real. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. And again, as a reminder, join me for this 12/12 primer event on December 10th. It's a private fire ceremony, kind of addressing the things that I've talked about in this live stream. I gotta go. Session started. Bye, everyone. Give it a thumbs up.